Because even if you don't want to get into trouble, isn't it true? Trouble is the one that gets to you.
4 babies in 5 years. Tapos, ang comment ng mga tao, anak naman kayo ng anak.
Every good and perfect gift is from above.
So, kailangan matuto tayo dun sa mga rhythms natin, what we need, our seasons, without pressure.
And I quote, in both marriage and marathons, breakthroughs often come after your biggest breakdowns. Welcome to Marriage is a Marathon.
The podcast.
Run it one step at a time. Okay.
Who are you?
Anthony Pangilinan po.
And I'm Marisa Laksa Pangilinan.
And today, we're going to take a break from chapter after chapter of the word marathon, our acrostic. And we're going to talk about the highs
And the lows.
of a marathon of a marriage. For example, high, when our families came together. All our families and friends came together to celebrate our wedding
Dami no.
together. Ang dami nun, di ba? For me, that was a high. That was a miracle that they all came together.
The lows.
Pati nga hindi nagkakasundo, nagkasama-sama eh. O
Okay.
low.
The lows are fights early on.
Di ba? Bago pa kaming kinasal. Eh dahil nga dun sa mga counseling yun eh. Di ba? That's why, for me, a high are the lessons we picked up during our counseling days, which we still do. We have not stopped. When needed, we still come together with a third party that we trust to get counseling. So para sa akin, high yun.
Okay.
Ano pa?
Low. Those days we didn't have enough funds to cover for our expenses
Aray.
and to pay for our loans.
Saan natin kukunin yung pambayad bukas, di ba? Sa mga kaibigan namin tumulong.
Thank you.
Sa mga bangko na nagpautang.
Sa mga pamilya, mga magulang.
Oh my gosh. You know who you are. Thank you so much. But high are the lessons in stewardship. It's not done yet. Pero yung mga techniques na natutunan natin, di ba, kung paano mag-survive. Financial stewardship and financial management lessons, for me, still much to learn, but for me, that's always a high. Ano pa?
Low. Waiting anxiously to be pregnant and have a baby.
O nga kasi nung una, ayaw pa namin eh. Diba? Dapat kami muna.
Kami
Tapos nung
muna.
gusto na namin, OMG.
Tagal.
Ano ba yun? You had a certain condition, diba?
Polycystic ovaries and retroverted uterus.
Kung
Parang
ano man
impossible na yata magkaanak. And other people were saying, ano ba yan? Ang tagal-tagal. May problema ba kayo? That's
Nakaka-down
very
yun. In
discouraging.
fact, nakakainis nga.
Actually, reminder lang please, let's take care of our words, lalo na dun sa mga gustong magbigay ng advice sa mga newlyweds. Nako, ingat naman tayo kasi,
Wala pa ba?
ano
Ganon,
ba
diba?
yan?
Ano ba yun?
Kaya nyo ba? Baka may problema.
Ganon. Kaya sa amin, high, yung dumating yung 4.
Hindi,
first
isa
4.
muna.
Pero dumating yung 4 within 5 years.
Yun.
Para sa akin, para tayong nagkaroon ng factory. Baby making factory.
4 babies in 5 years. Tapos, ang comment ng mga tao, anak naman kayo ng anak.
Nag-break nga lang ng 10 years. Tapos nagkaroon pa ng
Surprise!
5. So for me, of course, those
What
were
a
highs.
blessing. Yeah, super blessing.
Tapos,
Ay, nako, bigla naman tayong nagkaroon ng health scare for Benj when he was diagnosed for his heart and then it needed open heart surgery.
oh my gosh, una yung kondisyon. Tapos yung probisyon na kailangan, OMG, doctor's fees pa lang, ninervyos na ako, inatake na ako. I think that's one of the reasons kaya nagkaroon ako ng heart.
No, Daddy. Do not blame it on that.
Of course, a high naman is also our health experience, health and wellness improvement after having run 5 Ironman competitions and then tayo almost 19, I think, marathons, international marathons, 42-kilometer marathons between us. High yung bawat isa na yun.
Yeah, for me, a low naman, another low is the painful experience of experimenting and doing trial and error with Our firstborn. Ang daming sorry. Sorry talaga sa lahat ng pagkakamali. Tao lang po,
Kasi
sinusubukan lang
guinea pig nga si
maging
Ella.
magulang na mabuti. Yan.
But thanks, Ella, because she said, it's okay, ma. Nung nag-sorry ka for the nth time, let's do better with Solana.
Yes.
Oh, ganun ano?
Yeah.
So, hi sa akin yon. To be given another opportunity, even to organize the first, the second, the third Philippine Parenting Conventions.
And then it continues on with all the people that we've mentored. They're now conducting their own parenting workshops, seminars, conventions.
And of course, both high and low, ang sex. Woo! Pero mamaya na yan. Hang on, cliffhanger, di ba? Can you share something about an high and low experience in our marriage? Ikaw, anong karanasan mo?
Hi, yung masabi mo na, I'm your best friend.
Okay.
Yung low, yung sabi mo sa akin, hindi mo talaga ako kilala.
Totoo naman, di ba? Lumalim ka pa sa pagkakakilala mo sa asawa mo.
Kasi minsan talaga, judger ako. Inaamin ko yan. Pero I have judged you less when I have trusted and gotten to know you more.
Amen. Naka-record naman to, di ba?
Hindi, tsaka meron tayo kasing ginawa sa pamilya natin na we can call each other out. If somebody was judging or is judging, we can actually say, Judging.
Si Solana, paborito niya yun. Judging.
Say sorry.
Solana, why did you use mommy's phone? She gave it to me.
Judging.
Ganun yun. You want to talk about traveling? Our trips, for example.
Sabi ko nga sa'yo ang isang love language ko is the acts of travel. So, I love going through all the paperwork to prepare for visa applications and also coordination. Of
Para
course,
ka nangangayon siya, di ba?
it's a challenge sometimes to produce the financial needs of everybody because isa tayong katerbang barangay. It's a delegation when we travel. But it's so amazing because when we travel, we look out for each other. We find out new things together. And there's a lot of downtime to really just get to know each other's hearts.
Tsaka nagkakasawaan din, di ba? Ikaw na naman kasama ko bukas. And then
no
the
choice.
next day na naman, OMG, di ba?
But then we also learn to devise strategies on how to move forward better. Paano ba yung schedule dynamics natin? Saan ba tayo dapat kumain para makabusog ng mas matagal or mas makatipid or mas makarami, yung splurge a little bit because there's a special occasion.
Ang daming lessons talaga when you travel together. I encourage you. Kahit na local, di naman kailangan abroad, di ba? Kahit na sa kabilang syudad lang, travel together and use it as an opportunity not just to bond, but to develop each other. Right? At magkakaproblema ako, isa sa mga dapat kong sabihin dito, which I do a lot pagdating sa mga kumpanya, halimbawa na kung saan ako consultant tsaka trainer. Yung isang lesson na na-pick up ko when I was in Malaysia many years ago, yung getting into trouble is not our choice. It's not your choice. Because even if you don't want to get into trouble, isn't it true trouble is the one that gets to you? Kaya mali pala yung sasabihan mo yung bata, huwag kang papasok sa gulo. Kasi kahit di sila pumapasok sa gulo, ang gulong lumalapit sa kanila.
So, kailangan i-equip natin sila. Paano pag dumating yung gulo?
Yun. So, getting into trouble is not the choice. The choice is to go through the trouble well. Go through the trouble well. Like, will you allow it to transform you? Will it allow you to become more creative, innovative? Will it teach you patience? Diba? Kakapit ka ba sa Panginoon pagdating sa pagsubok? Because if you do all of that, then wow, it's a high.
At the same time, honey, there are times talaga you hit a wall. Like in the 30th kilometer of every marathon, you will hit a wall. And if you're not so well prepared for that wall, you will give up. There are times na, di ba, you can consider something a wall kung biglang nawalan ka ng pasensya,
Walang-wala na.
biglang wala kang maisip or wala kang magawa sa isang pagsubok. Pero meron akong positive wall na burnout drives you to either go insane or really take time to breathe. So positive rin yung wall kasi it makes you rethink your strategy for the next other half or the next succeeding kilometers or miles.
A burnout precedes a breakthrough.
Sana, if you're in the right mindset, right?
If you are in the right mindset, diba? If it leads you to cry out to the Lord, and then you will see the Lord as a Savior, as He promises to be. So, depende nga sa choice na gagawin mo pag nandun ka na. So, again, our encouragement is whatever trouble you're going through, right? If it's not your choice, or even if it was, may kapatawaran, di ba? But what's important here is that you decide if it's a consequence of bad decision, is that you will go through it humbly, you will go through it well. Okay, pag-usapan na natin yung hinihintay nila. Di ba? Hinihintay ni Joey to, yung sex topic. Di ba? So, meron akong acrostic. Di ba? Meron tayo. It's called value. Okay? If you want sex to add value to you, hindi siya pabigat, pero nakakadagdag, positibo, hindi siya negative, then there are 5
Pero
mindsets,
depende
5
rin
thoughts.
yan
Ha?
kasi kung ano yung past experience mo sa sex.
Kaya nga, ipasok mo na yan. May karanasan ka, may pinagdaanan, right? You have a past that's painful. Well, the 5 mindsets are, number 1,
Value the other. Value the other, not just yourself.
hindi pwedeng one way. Diba? Sex is not one way. Kailangan mutuality.
Lalo na kung
Mutual
mag-asawa
joy.
kayo.
Mutual giving sa
Yan.
mag-asawa.
Gusto
Diba?
mo na mapasaya mo yung asawa mo.
Okay, ako, sabi mo, mapasaya mo asawa mo, ako sa husband. Okay, so, nakasulat sa 1 Corinthians. O yan,
Yan,
word-based
Bible
tayo.
yan.
Chapter 7, verse 3, it says, the husband should fulfill his marital
Yan,
duty.
duty mo yan.
Oh my God, obligasyon pala yun. To his wife. But, likewise, the wife to the husband.
May
Diba?
practical yan na application. Yung halimbawa, bagong uwi ka sa trabaho. Tapos, gusto mo syempre makita naman ako na hindi losyang. Nakakatulong din na I welcome you properly in the house, di ba?
right.
Hindi yung pagdating mo, pagod na pagod ako.
Okay, guys.
Losyang,
Girls. Okay.
nakaduster, gusot-gusot yung buhok.
When you do this, 'di ba? May kasabihan, ha? Duty done in love is a delight.
Yan.
'Di ba?
So prepare
Kailangan.
for the wives. My tip is you prepare naman for your husband to come home. And then for the husbands, lagi ko sinasabi kay Anthony, tapusin lang niya lahat ng mga tinetext niya sa kotse para pag uwi niya, hindi yung hi tapos telepono.
Biglang nag-text yung EA ko na may kailangang desisyon na nung gagawin
Hindi,
natin.
sa kotse mo na gawin lahat ng desisyon mo. Kasi
Okay.
pag uwi mo, kailangan ready ka na to be a vessel to pour out to your family.
Okay. Ito sinasabi ko sa mga nag-aasawa. Sa kasal pa lang, 'di ba? And I don't know who shared this with me. I don't know if it was one of our counselors na husbands daw, love your wives in such a way that she will hate to see you leave for the office
Yes.
in the morning. Dapat daw ganon.
Wow,
Ayaw
wag
ko,
kang
umalis ka. Dapat ganon ang pagmamahal mo.
Yan.
But, wives, love naman daw your husbands in such a way that he will hate to go home to anybody else in the evening.
Yung magmamadali siyang umuwi sa'yo, hindi sa
Diba?
iba.
So, mutuality.
Yan.
Importante yun.
Kung paano mo
Value.
strategize yun, depende na yun sa style mo.
Okay.
Pero, reminder, Wives, make it worth your husband's time so that ayaw niyang umalis. And then, husbands, yun. Kailangan paghandaan rin na sa wife kayo uuwi, hindi yung
Mutuality
sa ibang
nga.
bahay.
So the first mindset is value. Ang tanong, nakakadagdag ka ba? O pabigat ka?
Ay.
Diba? Sa pamamaraan mo sa araw na ito. Okay, number 2. You have to acknowledge sex as a gift. Right?
Okay, intimacy in marriage is holy. It's not dirty, it's not taboo. It's designed by God, it is good, and it's a sacred gift.
At kapag gift yan, kailangan, wini-welcome mo. Diba? Kailangan, nire-receive mo. Kailangan, nagpapasalamat ka, diba? Pag nagbibigay ng regalo. It says in James 1 chapter 17, every good and perfect gift is from above. Right? The question is, do you welcome it as a gift? Do you welcome sex as a gift? Do you cherish it as a gift? Nagpapasalamat ka ba because you've been given a gift? Parang pag kinasal ka, di ba? Anong tawag doon? Yung regalo mo na sa isang lugar, nabili na.
Gift registry.
Ayun, di ba? So, pag binigyan ka ng gift at sinabi sa yung nasa registry ba yon?
Oo.
Kailangan,
Kunin mo.
yes, you have to go out of your way to get it, to receive it, to pick it up. Otherwise, it will never be yours.
Mag-expire.
Yeah, it will never be yours. You will never receive the benefits from it. So the question is, do you see, as couples, sex as a gift? Yun. So,
Pero sana kasi may preparation din yan eh. Para tanggapin mo yung gift, maganda naman din yung packaging.
tama naman.
Diba?
It should be worthy.
Paano ka naman ma-excite na gift yan kung, hindi man lang nag-toothbrush? Okay, tapos hindi man lang mag-workout ng konti para medyo maganda naman yung mga
So
love
package
handles
it,
dyan.
diba? If you value what you are giving, you
Protect
package also it properly
Yes.
para man may konting excitement sa paghandog.
Suklay naman ng konti, di ba? Magpabango, ganyan. Maligo.
At kapag sumusubok naman yung partner mo at minsan nagkakamali, pagbigyan mo naman, 'di ba?
Wag namang
Sumubok
pakipot.
'Di ba? Naglagay naman ng pabango, hindi nga lang naligo.
Oh my God!
Medyo masangsang ng kaunti yung
Wag
amoy.
naman.
Hindi, pero you also have to recognize the effort. Diba?
A for effort.
Because merong mga blessings in disguise. Meron din ganon,
May
diba?
mga last minute things din na mga nangyayari in special occasions na and places na biglang nagkatinginan kayo tapos it's not the perfect scenario for all the checklist that you have. Go for it.
Na importanteng wisdom diba? So, again, look at it as a gift and be willing to receive it, welcome it, use it, and be thankful for it. Okay, VAL. Ano yung L?
Love beyond the physical.
Nako, reminder sa akin to. Diba? That the way you treat daw, husbands your wife in the morning will determine the quality of sex in the evening. Nako, bakit ba ganun yun? Bakit ba ganun yun? Kailangan, maga pa lang, breakfast table pa lang, maayos na ang pagtrato sa inyo para daw, after dinner, sa kwarto, maayos din.
Syempre kasi kayo, para kayong switch. On, off, finish. Kami plancha.
Tama. I
May
remember.
warm up,
Ang switch kasi mabilis uminit. Ang plancha, medyo mataltagal, no?
Oo,
Ang process.
tapos, pagkatapos, uminit. Tapos,
Mabagal din.
in-off mo na, hindi pa yon lumalamig.
Okay.
Iintayin mo. Diba?
So you have to
May
recognize.
pagpapahalaga ka dapat dun sa design ng iyong asawa. Para pag naintindihan mo yon, hindi lang parang ang pakiramdam nung hindi pa tapos uminit, nagamit lang siya. At hindi naman
Gamit,
pakiramdam nung switch na parang yun lang ba ang halaga ko?
Oy, tsaka hindi rin gusto ng switch na parating on, off, di ba? Parang ano ba yan? Baka masira yung switch na yan. Di ba? So, do you know that abnormal use equals abuse? So, whenever I use sex or I use someone in an abnormal way na para pansarili lang, na walang mindfulness, di ba? Then I end up abusing that person.
Ito pa ha.
Aray.
When you use sex to get something, you're not really caring for the other person. You're caring about what you want to get from that person. That is abuse.
Ginamit mo lang
Ginamit.
ako. Aray, ang sakit na. So remember, it's not just physical. It's emotional. Okay? It's spiritual.
Yes.
It's relational. So, it's vulnerability, not just anatomy.
Yan. Connect at the heart level.
Can you explain a little more about heart level connection?
Yeah, kasi pagka halimbawa, tayong dalawa, pag nag-aaway tayo, alam mo namang excited tayo to come together at night, di ba? Parang galit-galit na lang muna. Pero pagka maganda nga yung exchange ninyo, kahit hindi kayo nagkakasundo, nagkakaintindihan kayo, may respeto kayo, mas masarap to come together. Wala kayong mga parang inhibitions or wala kang iniisip na ano to, ginagamit lang ako.
Okay.
Nagbibigayan kayo.
Sige, so I forgive you na sa ginawa mo kanina.
Guys.
Para magkaroon tayo ng connection.
Nox!
Para maganda ang mamayang expression. VAL, are you taking notes? Joey, are you taking notes? Importante sa'yo to.
You.
Diba? You have to understand and respect differences.
Yan ang you.
Ito yung sinasabi ni Maricel kanina na husbands are switches, wives are irons. One heats instantly and the other warms with time.
Ayan. So, kailangan matuto tayo dun sa mga rhythms natin, what we need, our seasons, without pressure, without shame. Pero ito, ang nakikita kong importante, communication.
Language.
Yeah. So, love language is important.
Guys, you know this already. Perhaps let's assume that you've learned about it, but I think we should still review it. So when it comes to sex, puntahan natin ang love languages. So if you want to enjoy it, make sure you're connecting with the language that is fitting. So ano yung different love languages? Sige nga. And then as we go through each, ask yourself, akin ba yun?
Yeah.
Sa kanya ba yun? Diba? Kasi minsan hindi
Magkaiba
nagmamatch
yan, oo.
Minsan nagmamatch, minsan hindi. So
Yeah.
ano yung isa?
Words of affirmation.
Okay ka. I'm so happy. I'm with you. Great job. Woo! Congratulations. Woo! Va-va-va-voom. Yan
Acts of service.
Okay, so pangalawa naman.
Oo.
So paghandaan mo, si Maricel,
Masahihin
minamasahe
mo.
ako. Paglutuan mo.
Ay, hindi kita pwede pagluto.
Hindi nga. Ano yon? Acts of disservice yon pag ginawa mo. Ano ba? Pag-drive mo siya.
Ayun, ako yun.
Maglinis-linis ka naman ng kwarto.
Okay.
Diba? Ano pa?
Ayusin ko yung mga sira mong gadgets.
Yun. Diba? I-flush mo naman lang sana yung toilet. Diba? Hindi. So, acts of service is another.
Yes.
So, sa'yo ba yun?
Oo.
O baka sa misis mo yun. Diba? Ano yung pangatlo?
Gifts.
Yun. Diba? Idaan mo na lang sa regalo.
Oh, mag-uwi ka ng flowers.
Kahit cash.
Mas gusto ko yung cash.
Hindi cash mo na lang, di ba? Di ba? Ano pa? I-ano mo
Okay.
na lang. Ilala-move mo na lang. Ano pa? Imaya mo na lang. So, gifts. Yun ba ang gusto mo? Do you like being given gifts? Is it something that is also your language of affection and love?
Ito pa. Quality time.
Yun.
Ha, yung kausap mo na hindi nasa cellphone, tingin ng tingin, check ng check. Kung hindi nakafocus sa'yo kasi ikaw ang pinaka-importanting tao na nasa harap niya.
Di ba dati hindi mo gusto na nasa appointment book ka? And then, after a while, you realized.
I want to be part of your appointment.
Dati hindi,
Yeah.
ayaw mo.
Kaya ang ginawa ko, 'di ba? Binlock off ko lahat ng Friday nights. whether we like each other or not, para magka-date tayo. Kasi na-realize ko na ayaw kong ilagay ako sa appointment pero nawawalan naman ng oras para sa akin. So, ginawa ko ng mag-schedule ng appointment with you.
So yung paghatid mo sa mga bata, Maricel loves bringing Solana to school. I think that is something that
Not only Solana, all my kids.
that is something they
Yeah.
will never forget because you made time through traffic to bring them to school
Yes.
and many times to pick them up
Yes.
also. Diba? Iba yun. Importante
And
yun.
even to drive you. Yeah.
Quality time. Do you have time? Right? Sabi nila, kids spell love T-I-M-E. Right? Quality time. Ano ba yung kwentong isang bata na nag-save ng pera tapos binayaran niya yung tatay niya para mabigyan siya ng ilang oras?
Para
Dahil
wag
yun
na
ang-
siya magtrabaho.
Yun ang nakita nung bata sa tatay na binibigyan niya ng oras yung mga kumpanya
Na nagbabayad sa
na
kanya.
nagbabayad sa oras niya. So, nag-save ba naman siya? Tapos binigay niya sa tatay niya if he could buy some of his time. That broke the father's heart. Okay, so, sabi natin, acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation, ano pa?
Gifts,
Gifts, ano yung panghuli?
acts of service.
Hindi, tapos na tayo doon. Touch.
Ayun ang
Yun.
pinaka-importante sa akin.
Physical touch, cuddling.
Kailangan
Oh my God.
cuddle.
Oh, cuddle ng cuddle. Ano ba yan? Pati tuloy yung mga anak ko, cuddle. Daddy, cuddle. Oh my gosh. Noon naman.
Yes, because cuddling in bed without any gadgets, without talking, just connecting, heart to heart, magkapulupo tayong lahat. That's why our bed is so big, right?
Yeah.
So that we can accommodate everybody. And up to this day, kahit mas matatangkad pa sa atin yung mga anak natin, they jump in bed to
Ang
see
problema naman
us, to
kasi-
cuddle with us.
Ang problema kasi sa'yo, sabi mo cuddle, pero after a while, mas gusto mo more than cuddle. Diba? May iba kang
See,
ano,
that's a result.
motibo.
Yes.
Diba? May ibang motibo. So what
Okay
is
lang
your love
yun.
language? Si Maricel may bago eh. Bago. Narinig ko lang to last month. Diba? So 5 yon. Pero si Maricel may sarili siya. Ano yun? Acts of travel. Ano ba yun? Diba? Because for you, traveling together is an expression of love. Right?
Yes, yes. I love it.
Oo nga. Gastos.
I look forward
Ganun
to
din.
it. Pinag-iipunan naman.
Buti na lang, may mga sponsors. Maraming salamat to all our barter
Tsaka may mga
partners
miles
sa
tayo
X-Deal.
na accumulate.
So what is your love language? The key is this. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, 4-5. I love this. Love, I love this, does not insist on its own way. It does not insist on its own way. And finally, dun sa ating acrostic na value is E. Embrace it. Both the highs and the lows.
So not every moment can be magical. Some nights may be awkward and then it's tense. Ay nako, disappointing ba? But it's okay.
Galatians 6:9. Let us not grow weary in doing good. Even if sex is not good sometimes. Because in time, we will reap a harvest. So, i-push mo lang. Diba? I-push mo lang. Sex yan. I-push mo lang.
The more you
Diba?
practice, the more you get better at it actually.
So, it's not a magical moment. It's a
26-mile marathon.
woo! And you can run it. Sabi nila sa rules sa triathlon, you can walk it, you can crawl it, but showing up is half of the victory. So, you might want to engage in conversation with self or with your partner today, or even as we wrap up this podcast. Ask yourself the following questions. Number 1,
How can I give you more highs?
how can you give your spouse more of the highs? Second question, how can we avoid the unnecessary lows? Think of one way na hindi naman kailangan pagdaanan yung bagay na yun.
Yeah.
E di iwasan. Number
How
3,
can we encourage each other to hang on through the highs and lows till we complete our journey?
And I quote, in both marriage and marathons, breakthroughs often come after your biggest breakdowns. Thank you very much for joining us today. We hope to see you in our future podcasts.
This has been Marriage is a Marathon, the podcast.
God bless.
Thank you for joining us for yet another episode of Marriage is a Marathon, the podcast. Run it one step at a time. Thank you so much, Mango, for our outfits for today.
For feedback and suggestions, please comment below. Follow us on our socials, Anthony Pangilinan and Mommy Maricel. See you next podcast. God bless.